In the land of Azura, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, there lived a mighty king named Arin. King Arin was a just ruler, loved by his people, and he had 3 wives, each chosen for their unique qualities and strengths. The first wife, Queen Lirien, was a woman of unparalleled beauty, with hair as black as the night sky and eyes that shone like the brightest stars. She was the daughter of a neighboring king and had brought a substantial dowry to the marriage. Queen Lirien had 2 daughters, Princesses Elian and Era, who were the apples of their father's eye. The second wife, Queen Namarie, was a skilled healer and wise woman, with a deep understanding of the ancient lore and magic that flowed through the land. She had been chosen by King Arin for her intelligence and compassion, and she had borne him 2 daughters as well, Princesses Niamh and Nora. The third and youngest wife, Queen Fianna, was a fiery and passionate woman, with hair as red as the flames that burned in the hearth and eyes that sparkled like the embers. She was a warrior queen with a fierce determination and a will of iron. Queen Fianna had borne King Arin a single son, Prince Cormac, who was the light of his father's eye. For many years, the kingdom of Azura prospered under King Arin's rule. The land was fertile, the people were happy, and the kingdom was at peace. However, as the years passed, tensions began to rise among the 3 queens and their children. Queen Lirien, the first wife, grew increasingly resentful of the attention and affection that King Arin showered upon his younger wives and their children. She began to plot and scheme, whispering poisonous words into the ears of her daughters, Princesses Elian and Era. Queen Namarie, the second wife, tried to maintain the peace and balance within the kingdom, using her wisdom and healing skills to soothe the tensions and rivalries that arose among the royal family. However, her efforts were often thwarted by the machinations of Queen Lirien and her daughters. Queen Fianna, the third wife, was fiercely protective of her son, Prince Cormac, and grew increasingly wary of the rivalries and power struggles that threatened to destabilize the kingdom. She began to train Prince Cormac in the arts of war and statecraft, preparing him for the day when he would ascend to the throne. As the tensions within the kingdom continued to rise, a series of tragic events unfolded. A great drought struck the land, withering the crops and drying up the rivers. The people of Azura grew hungry and desperate, and soon riots and rebellions broke out across the kingdom. In the midst of the chaos, Queen Lirien saw an opportunity to strike against her rivals and secure the throne for her own daughters. She began to secretly fund and arm the rebels, using her wealth and influence to fuel the flames of discord and violence. As the kingdom teetered on the brink of collapse, King Arin grew increasingly desperate. He tried to rally his people and restore order, but it was too late. The chaos had become too entrenched, and the kingdom was torn apart by strife and bloodshed. In the end, it was Queen Lirien who struck the final blow. She conspired with a group of disgruntled nobles and had King Arin murdered in his own bedchamber. The kingdom of Azura was plunged into darkness and despair, and the people mourned the loss of their beloved king. In the aftermath of King Arin's murder, the kingdom was torn apart by rival claimants to the throne. Queen Lirien's daughters, Princesses Elian and Era, were proclaimed queens by their mother's supporters. But Queen Fianna's son, Prince Cormac, had the rightful claim to the throne. The wars of succession raged on for years, with Prince Cormac fighting against his half-sisters and their mother, Queen Lirien. Many lives were lost, and the kingdom was scorched and burned. But in the end, justice prevailed, and Prince Cormac emerged victorious. He was crowned the rightful king of Azura, and he vowed to restore the kingdom to its former glory. He brought peace and prosperity back to the land, and the people of Azura rejoiced at the dawn of a new era. But the memory of the chaos and bloodshed that had ravaged the kingdom would never be forgotten. The story of King Arin's murder and the wars of succession would be passed down through the generations, a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition, greed, and the lust for power.